Hey out there, this is Buzz with the Survival Buzz. So it seems the extreme droughts and weather conditions all across the world just seem to continue. We're breaking records a lot of places, and this is worldwide at this point. Italy, France, Germany, I mean, you name it, the United States, the whole world is basically having food issues. But the real issues aren't even here yet. And I think that's where a lot of people get confused. They think just because the shelves are full that we're good to go, right? I don't see any shortages, do you? But the sad reality of it is the most of the food we're eating is from a year ago. And with all these drought conditions and weather conditions the way they are, it's getting worse and worse by the day. Um, Germany's main source of being able to move goods, their main river they do that with, is drying up. So moving goods is becoming more and more complicated and more hard to do. And then, of course, you have wildfires places. Here in the United States, you have Utah having extreme droughts. The Southwest, Texas right now has, from what I understand, the whole Southwest is experiencing 1,200-year records basically on droughts. So it's everywhere at this point. There's farmers in Texas, livestock people that are being kind of forced to panic sell all their herds because of the extreme weather. They haven't had a solid year of rainfall in years, so it's getting harder and harder for them, and they have to make the money to survive themselves, so they're selling everything off. And so next year's crop report is not too promising everywhere, which is why you should be stocking up now. And I know that's easier said than done. I know things are expensive. I feel it too. I don't make a ton of money either. But I do have a jump on a lot of people. There's a lot of areas that I've stocked up in that, at the end of the day, I'm going to have my belly full. It may not be what I want to eat or my family wants to eat, but we're not going to starve to death here. And, just to put it in a little bit of perspective for people out there that really don't know what they're doing and they're just confused and they're out there panic buying like canned goods and, Augustin Farms and Patriot Supply and all that crap that, unless you want to eat oatmeal and rice and rice soup every day, those things really don't appeal to me much because the entrees and things in them are, well, they're about as boring as beans and rice. So you might as well be buying beans and rice and saving your money for other things. But yeah, to put it in perspective, you can buy 100 pounds of rice, 100 pounds of beans, both of those things for about $100. And then, of course, if you want to get Mylar and buckets and oxygen absorbers, you're going to spend a little bit more money. But, $100 is going to go a long way for you and your family to feed yourself. Obviously, you can't go out there afford to buy everything you normally would, name brands and everything, and put it back because, well, you can barely afford to put dinner on the table as is. But find a way, get a part-time job, sell something you're not using, mow a couple yards, help somebody out, the elderly or somebody that can't do it for themselves, help them. But for $100, man, a couple 100 pounds of something that can feed you and your family and keep you from starving to death seems worth it to me. And I don't feel like that's a huge investment. So for the people who just sit out there and whine and complain that I can't prepare, I really don't want to hear that a year from now when you are starving to death. And, going back to my last video, you want to have all those defensive mechanisms to keep the masses away if we reach that point. But it almost seems like we're reaching that point. And YouTube has just become an echo chamber of just fear mongering and making people, drain out their savings accounts and credit cards and all that. And that's not what I'm getting at. That's not what I'm asking you to do at all. If you can't scrape $100 together, find a way. Sell something, work, do anything. I don't know. Ask for help from somebody. Just do something other than just sitting back and complaining that the end of the world is coming and there's nothing I can do about it, because I'm not going to be able to help you. And a lot of other people out there are going to be helping you as well. They're too concerned and too worried at this point on looking out for their own and putting stuff back for themselves. They don't have time to worry about you and your issues. So now is the time to start thinking about those things and getting those things lined out before you are starving to death. Because food shortages are becoming becoming a real thing, and I can assure you, a year from now, you're going to wish you had prepared. So get out there, get busy, get stacking, keep prepping hard, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Later.